Hi, I'm doing a tarot reading for coronavirus for August 10th. I hope you're all well wherever you are. And thank you for your time. If you haven't subscribed and you'd like to see my videos every Monday, just press the subscribe button, and you have to press the notification button too. Otherwise, you don't know when my next video is out. I do long distance healing. If anybody feels stressed and they want some energy clearing, it's very amazing. I think in 20 years from now, it will be something that we're doing all the time. Right now, people are quite skeptical about it, but it really is quite amazing. Okay, so I always sort of mix the cards up before I turn on the camera. So then I can just shuffle for a few minutes and really concentrate on. So this is a reading for August 10th, and I always just talk about the future and the near future, okay? All right, that's enough. I'm in British Columbia. Been very busy. I work in tourism, as well as doing other things, so the pressure's on to work a lot while I can. Things are going to slow down pretty quickly. And of course, we started a late season. So it's good to be responsible. Everybody's sort of, taking their hit, I think, with respect to COVID and how it's affected us. Okay. All right. So with respect to speaking about the present moment, we have the Four of Pentacles for the present, and the Four of Pentacles speaks about being afraid of enduring loss. He's sort of seen as the guy who's kind of cheap, but because this is a reading about coronavirus, I think it's fair to say that many people have been dealing with losses and separations and things like this that are quite painful. Also triggering traumas for people who have things that haven't been resolved in the past. And so this card is basically saying that we're holding on really tightly. We don't want to have to go through more than we are right now. And even though the Pentacles speaks more about earthly things, finances and money, I don't think this card is just about that. I think this card is saying we're all sort of stretched a little thin with everything we've been through for the last 4 months. We've all been affected, and we're just holding on tight because we might be doing okay, but we just don't want anything else to come up. We don't want any more bad news, anything else. We don't want any more setbacks. We're just sort of, skimming, if you will, where we are, just sort of holding on, hoping that everything will calm down. And even though it has calmed down in a lot of places, we have been really emotionally stressed by this whole situation. Even if you have a perspective that's more, maybe not taking it completely as seriously as some people, it's still stressful. You're reminded every time you go out, whether you have to line up or wear a mask or whatever. So this card is speaking about, I'm doing okay. I can't really afford to lose anymore. I don't need any more bad news, okay? And right next to this card, we have the reverse Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles it's a juggling card, okay? So we have two forces at play. I think with the coronavirus, we have, the health issue, and then we have regular life. So this card is speaking to the challenges that we're still facing around having, you know, good times with people, loving relationships, productive times with work. But when we go out, we go certain places, there's things we can't do, there's places we can't go, maybe we can't travel. We're reminded that we're very restricted. So there's like two forces at play. One, the normal life, which we spend most of our time doing, whether it's having dinner with your family, working, even if you're working at home. There's regular things that allow you to forget about what's happening. But there's this other thing, which is always like, no, there's something else going on that's affecting us that we need to be aware of. And it's frightening for people. So we're juggling. And this card, because it's reversed, would indicate, hey, this is a challenge, trying to maintain everything on one level, normalcy and a healthy attitude. And then at the same time, we've got this thing happening that's really having an impact on us as soon as we try and do something else, or we want to maybe even just looking into the future to make plans, just that sense of instability. Okay. So that is basically the cards that I have for the present moment. Now, it's just kind of interesting. So for September, I have the Three of Pentacles next to the Seven, the Chariot. Okay, the Chariot. Okay, these are kind of interesting cards because the Three of Pentacles is more about recognition. So, recognition on a personal level, I would say, is mostly about, well, what have you created? What have you done? What have you contributed? Okay. And that there is some recognition for the things that people have been able to do amidst all of this. Okay. So this card is speaking to recognition. And I think it's a reminder too. We need to recognize other people. Even if we have different values and ideas about what's happening, we need to recognize the efforts, okay, of other people. And we also need to value and recognize ourselves for what we've been through. Very important. And the Chariot, again, is very similar to the Two of Pentacles in the sense that it speaks about two very powerful forces that could divide us, that we have to, I want to say, it's like we're in the driver's seat. We're the conductor. We are responsible for managing, okay, these two things. And one is, white, and one is dark, light and dark, okay, the lightness and the darkness. So again, this is speaking to, wow, we've got we have to carry on. We have to live our lives. We have to make the most of what we have. We have to enjoy ourselves. We have to find happiness. At the same time, there's this very challenging thing that's happening that we also need to manage. And maybe we can't manage it, but we can manage ourselves. Okay. But it's just interesting. It's next to the Three of Pentacles, which is speaking about, people being recognized. And this card often speaks towards sort of work and career things. But in this case, I think it's more broad than that. I think it's we really need to appreciate each other and acknowledge each other and not forget that it's not just us that are going through a struggle here, that everybody around us is having their own personal struggle and their own stresses. So to be kind, recognize other people. Let's try and lift other people up. And at the same time, navigating through, two very strong forces. One being regular life as we know it, and the other being this sort of, this virus that's looming over us, that's affecting sort of the day-to-day operations of things around us, that we see. And a lot of people are really frightened about it. In my opinion, I think that probably the worst has already happened because there's a lot more information now that we have about things. So I think we know what we need to do to be careful and protect ourselves and other people. So, a lot of people are worried about the second wave. I can't really speak to that. When I did a reading before, it was indicating no, there might be an extension of what's happening. It's not necessarily that everything's going to stop and then start again and be so much worse. I don't really think that's going to happen. There might be something else. There might be a mutation of the virus, and in which case, everything we've learned already will hopefully be put to good use. And one of those things is, I think, not living in fear, okay? Being responsible, being caring, being positive, living your life, not falling into fear, okay? And then for October, it's kind of interesting. So we have, yeah, this is the Nine of Wands. And you can see that he's sort of observing, everything that's happened, everything he's done. He's sort of looking back. The 9 is moving obviously towards the 10. The 10 is the completion of the task, the project, or whatever. So we're moving towards, I think, looking back on everything that's happened. Okay. So we're looking back. We may not be looking forward yet, but we're able to look back on everything that's happened. We have a lot more information. We've succeeded, many of us, in dealing with this, in being resourceful and flexible in the way that we needed to. Yeah, I mean, there's been some really hard situations for people. I know there's been people who have fallen ill that have had to, for example, be put in the hospital or a care home where there's been no physical contact, especially with people who are older. No physical contact with people. I think this is a very painful thing that's happened with this whole thing. Really devastating for some families. So in this card, though, we're looking back. We're looking back on everything, which means I think we're going to be starting to look forward soon. Maybe after October, like maybe, I don't want to say November, but in the new year, looking forward with a different perspective, okay? So we're looking back on things. We're gathering up our sort of experience, our information. And it's a strong card. It's not a weak card, okay? Looking back on things. Now, this other card that I got, so this is the last card in the reading. It's the Five of Pentacles reversed, okay? And this card is speaking about people needing help. We know there's lots of situations in the world right now, for example. People might be feeling stretched rather thin, whether it's that they already have to help people around them, or maybe it's just that we can't focus on everything at the same time when we're all struggling along emotionally. But this card is a reminder that there are people that need help, that we need to think about helping others, So whether it's, all the people that have been devastated by what's happened in Lebanon, whether it's homeless people in your own community, this card is a reminder, okay, let's not forget, if we're doing okay, that we need to think about others, okay? Reach out and assist. Very important. Okay, I'm going to stop there for this reading today. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next Monday. Take care, everybody. Okay, bye for now.